to our YouTube channel. For today's video, we are going to talk about sex. So
everything naughty. So parental aggression. Parental. From the time you started to today. That's all we're gonna say.
That's fun.
We're gonna go down the Rolodex of our sex history. Is it?
Yeah, because I've had a lot of sex in my life. One of the most important parts about having sex is where your mindset is at. Why are you having sex? You know? And I think when I went through when I had the most one-night stands, I was not in a good mindset. And it was just kind of like swiping a credit card. Ka-ching, 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 ka-ching.
But you know, they will teach you. I think the interesting about sex, not only will they teach you something about yourself, but it'll teach you about the things you like and you don't like, which are very important. I feel like when it comes down to sex, aside from being responsible, which is using condoms and just being safe in general,
because you don't want to end up with chlamydia or gonorrhea or gender warnings.
or
not that there's anything wrong with it, but you want to avoid it.
You want to avoid it. There you go. You want to avoid it. But you know, there's times where you go to the club or the bar and you're like, let's go. Anything goes. You know, it's just, it's good to be conscious about the decisions you're making when it comes to sex. We've made those mistakes. I made them.
I came a long way since those days.
I've made those mistakes. She's made those mistakes, and we shouldn't feel bad, but we should be more conscious about them.
Not everybody's good. You're not going to have chemistry with everybody. Sex sucks sometimes when you have one-night stands. It just does. And that's the nature of being single and having one-night stands. And then if you're drunk, it's even worse because you might not even remember the whole night. And you're like, what happened?
And then you wake up and you're like, where the fuck am I?
Yeah, and you don't want to be like, well, did it actually happen? What happened? And if you weren't okay with it, that's not a good position to be in. That's a whole different conversation. Not giving consent.
Let alone use the condom.
Ooh.
You know, but I feel like this is a great topic to talk about, like, aside from sex, is about, like, the responsibilities that come with sex.
In the short period that you have been dating, like, what are some things that you've learned? Brief, like 2-3 things.
Okay. Brief, don't overdrink. Don't get drunk.
That's the same thing.
Carry condoms, because I'm going to tell you right now, men don't always have them. And
that's 2.
Be okay with the fact of you having sex with them. Not them having sex with you, but you being okay with the idea, period, of having sex with them. And feeling okay with it. Because I feel like up to this point, I can't really say I've had regrets. But there are some things I would change because I feel like I went through it so fast and I just rushed into it because there was a lot of things I wanted to forget and be like, fuck it. You know, and be like, whatever, I'm single and anything goes kind of thing. And then it just came on to a halt where I was like, hold on. Let's rethink some of these things. You know, and then I was just like, okay, let's slow it down just a little bit. Let's take it a little bit easier. Let's not rush through it. And I feel like when I first was single, and I was like, fuck it, whatever.
So with that being said, when was the last time you had sex?
I would say like, and you know what? To be honest, I'm done with all this. Like, let's have one-night stands, whatever. People come, people go. I think I'm actually ready for a relationship. I think I'm over it. Like, I'm over it. This hot girl, this hot girl, 2019 city girl summer. Like, I'm over it. I don't get me wrong. It was all fun. I met a lot of people. They taught me a lot of different things, but I think I'm at the point now where I'm over it, and I think I actually want a relationship.
Okay, well, what changed?
Going to therapy.
And having a breakthrough in therapy where you realized why you were engaging in certain types of behaviors and attentions.
Which will be another video. But yes, that's part of it. But now I'm just like...
But it was because of what you had through in the breakthrough that made you realize all these other things.
Yes. Yes. Now I'm just like I'm just not interested in it, period. I feel like it took a lot for me to cut all these people off that I had on the sidelines, and I would be like, what's up? Or, you know, because I feel like when you're single, everybody has them at one point, where you have people on the sidelines and you're like, hey, you're awake, you're down. I have no regrets, and I have no problem talking about it, but I feel like I'm just over that now. I'm over having whatever it was that I thought I had.
I think for some people it takes longer than others, and that's completely fine, and maybe like there's some lesson to be learned, and maybe there never is a lesson to be learned, and you're like, I just like that lifestyle. That's fine too.
That is fine.
But I think for some of us, it's like, I think sometimes you engage in certain types of behavior because that's what you were conditioned as a kid, or maybe you didn't get the love, and you have all these other deep-rooted issues that come from that. Because I know I did. Having mommy issues, having daddy issues, and so I was looking for different types of attention. I was looking for other stuff that just, you know, became toxic. And that's what I'm alluding to in all of this, is that during the time where I was the most promiscuous was because I hadn't dealt with my baggage. And that led to certain types of behavior.
And I feel like for me, that I recently went back to therapy, I've learned why I became very promiscuous after my divorce, and the attention that I was like looking for. And to an extent, when as this happened and it unfolded throughout these 2 years, I was just like, why doesn't it go any further than I wanted to? But then going back to therapy, I had an aha moment where I was just like, it all makes sense. It all makes sense, which would be another video, but it all made sense to me, where I was just like, okay, I'm going to put this to a halt. I'm over it. I feel like once I had that aha moment, I was like, this thought that I had in my head where I thought like, why does this keep happening? Why do I keep running into these dead-end relationships? Why do these people never want to take it any further? All these like questions that I had with these relationships that I was having with these people all make sense now.
And so, just really quickly, like if you're going through this and you're just like, I'm having all these one-night stands, why isn't going any further? I think you need to stop and think about, like, okay, well, what are you doing? What is it that you want out of it? Are you quickly jumping into sex? Because sex can just fog people's like attention span, especially with men, and they're just kind of like, that's all it is, and they don't really care to get to know you anything after that, because it's like, oh, it was sex, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Not that there's anything wrong with it, but...
No, there's nothing wrong with it.
But like my sister said, it does fog whatever it is that you want out of it, though.
And I think mature men, I honestly believe that some of the most mature men that I've met can actually have sex with you and then be like, oh, I still want to get to know you. Sex doesn't get in the way of me trying to get to know who you are as a person, which is great. But if that is your case, then maybe you just need to stop, reflect a little bit and be like, okay, what am I doing? What do I want out of it? If you do want a relationship, because maybe you need to value yourself a little bit more. Maybe you need to like deal with some of your like deep-rooted issues, which is the case for a lot of people. With all these bad habits that it's like, you attract the bad boys, you attract the assholes.
Or those are the ones you want.
You're trying to fix people. You're trying to be like, I can fix you. Or you put up with people that are mean to you, and it's like, no, none of that shit's normal. Relationships shouldn't be that hard.
Relationships shouldn't be hard, period. Yes, you're gonna go through hard times, where you might not agree or you might not always see eye to eye, but they shouldn't be hard to love.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Like, you should not be guessing like that somebody likes you. You should not be playing guessing games at all for anything. Like, that's not what relationships should be about.
And it's funny that you bring that up, because I feel like that's how I kind of started off when I started dating. Like, when you start playing these mind fucking games where you're like, do they like me? Do they not? Are they going to text me? Are they not? Like, no. And then eventually I learned to be straightforward and be like, look, hey, do you want to go out or not? Where I started taking the initiative to be like, do you want to do this or not? Do you want to hang out or not? Do you want to see me or not? And then that kind of helped me like trim the fat on certain people. But then at the same time, I was still struggling with it though, because I'm like, I'm doing that, but why am I still meeting the same people though? And then eventually...
Because you are who you attract.
Yeah,
you are who you attract. And at the end of the day, like, unless you start dating different types of people, then you don't know what kind of other people it's out there and what kind of love and, like, personalities you can actually attract. You have to give yourself that chance to be like, I'm going to go out. I met this guy. He's not the typical guy I would go out with, but give him a chance. Because you might fall in love, or you might be like, wow, I like you more than what I thought. And I think that that's where it's like changing your habits comes in when it comes to dating. Because if you don't want to be in these like fucked up relationships, then it's like, why is this guy treating me as shit all the time? I'll be like, peace out.
Even to like the fuck boys, the pretty boys, the ones you know that are not available.
Why? Because chances are they got fucking problems too, and they got mommy issues and they got daddy issues too that they haven't dealt with and they probably don't want to deal with. And you start talking to them about it, and they're like, "What? What are you talking about? That's so stupid. Why would you?" You know, and it's like, "Girl, bye. I ain't got time for this."
Been there, done that. You know?
I need you to be emotionally ready. I need you to be emotionally in tune with your own fucking feelings, and I need you to be able to communicate and be like, "I don't like that," or "Hey, can we talk about this?" That's the fucking type of person I'm looking for. None of that, oh, let me guess how you're fucking feeling. No. I need to play those guessing games with my 13-year-old son, not with the grown-ass man. Period.
And I feel like that's where I'm at, and it's funny because I'm older than her. I feel like that's where I'm at now, but I feel like I had to get a feel for the field in order to get there. And it's funny because she would tell me, and I'll be like, all right, but I feel like I had to experience it in order to be like, I get you.
But dating's like driving. Like, it's not, you can tell a person how to drive all you want. They can read the manual. They can be like, this is how it works. But you don't learn until you do it.
Yeah, that's true.
And so I would tell her that. I'd be like, whatever. You're going to learn on your own.
But there's nothing wrong with that. Because
yeah,
I feel like there's certain
nothing wrong with that.
That we need to go through and experience in order to be like, I get you.
And they're not
I know
good.
what you're talking about.
And they're not good.
Which I have no regrets. I have no regrets of the people I met, whether they were good or they're bad, whether they insulted me or not, because I've had both. It's just all been a learning lesson. Like, a lot of it has, and it's just helped me to teach me to cut through the fat. But now I'm at a point where, like, I think I need to stop dating and maybe work a little bit more on myself.
Like, my point in saying all of this is not to make everybody feel bad, not to make anyone feel bad. If you're down for one-night stands and you're like, fuck it, I'm living my best life, good for fucking you.
Because I am.
Good for you. It's not what I'm choosing to do right now, but at any moment, I could choose to have a one-night stand, and that's my motherfucking choice.
And that's everybody's choice.
And in saying that, like, I hope that at the end of the day, you've dealt with your issues, you're okay with what you're doing, because if you're having one-night stands and you're going home and feeling guilty, that's a sucky-ass feeling. I think you have some work to do. Or if you have, like, all these questions, or you're falling for these guys on these one-night stands
that are not emotionally available and you want a relationship.
And that's just not a good mix, right? Like, you want to be good with yourself, you want them to be good. If it's a relationship that you want the relationship to be good. You want it to be solid. You don't want to be doubting that shit. Be like, is he cheating? Is he this? Is he that? Oh,
or if you feel like you need a drink to have sex, which I feel like I went through a period where I was doing, but we could talk about that on another video. But, you know, I feel like there's a lot of things that come with sex. A lot of drinking, or no drinking, or emotionally available or not available. I feel like at the end of the day, just be okay with it.
And I think if you are going to be having one-night stands, be compassionate. Don't act like a fucking asshole if you're a male or a female. Like, don't act like a fucking asshole. Treat people with respect. You know, be safe. And have fucking fun. Try every fucking position possible.
Try positions, foreplay, fucking whips, anything and everything that there is on fucking Adam and Eve.
No, try outdoor spaces. Try
just like caught by the cops.
Forbidden spaces. Try like your parents' house, their room. Like, do crazy kinky shit. That's the way to go. That's fun. Anyways, hope you learned something from this video. At the very least, it was entertaining. We hope you continue to watch, subscribe, and share. We'll see you in our next video.
Bye.